Hello there. Welcome to Divine Debut. This is Kathy speaking. Thank you so much for being here. This is your mid-month of May. Happy birthday to all you Taurians who are still having your birthday, to those who have already had your birthday, and of course we're moving into Gemini season. So I should say happy birthday to all Geminis out there as well. Thank you so much for being here. I'm doing a 4-card spread today. I will be using the Mystical Tarot, and it's by Guiliano, Costa. So I will be putting all the names of the decks that I'm using. As you already know, the astrology cards that I always use, everything will be in the description box below. I will be taking 3 LENORMAND as well, and my usual SIBILLA cards. So hope that everyone is good. We're having a full moon in Scorpio on the 18th of May. I suppose it depends on where you are in the world. Today's actually the 14th of May when I'm doing these readings. 14th and 15th, they will be completed. And as I was saying, full moon in Scorpio on the 17th or 18th, depending on where you are in the world. So we know that Scorpio is very deep. Scorpio is very passionate, and Scorpio loves to connect on a very deep and profound level. So we're all going to be feeling these energies. So it's all about truth and getting to the bottom of things. And Scorpio is a very sexual sign as well. So a lot to do around intimacy and our deepest, most darkest thoughts, feelings, emotions. So that's going to be interesting to see what will be culminating, because full moons are a culmination. What will be culminating on or around the full moon. So, all right, on to the readings. I won't keep you long. Thank you again. Let's go on to the readings. Hello, dear Aquarius. Welcome to Divine Debut. This is Kathy speaking. Thank you so much for being here. This is your mid-May 2019 reading, general and love, and I'm doing a 4-card spread. Just letting you know that there's a full moon in Scorpio in the next couple of days, 2-3 days, depending on where you are. So it's on the 17th if you're in the southern hemisphere, or the 18th if you're in the northern. So very deep, very Plutonian Scorpio. So full moon there is, wow, it's like a big deal it is. So Aquarius, this for you is your 9th house, which deals with foreign places and people, higher education, spirituality, and just freedom, yeah? Because the house of Sagittarius, the natural house of Sagittarius, is all about, you know, being large, just like the Sagittarians, Jupiter, their planet. So the world at large, let's say. But being the house of Scorpio, there's a lot of transformation and change happening in matters of these that I just mentioned. So, you know, it's a very spiritual house, and Scorpio is also very, very much about the occult. So there's a lot of magic around this full moon. Let's see what's going on for you. Now, full moons are always culminations, endings, and with a full moon we get a lot of clarity to what is ending. So let's see now, in the now position, as I said, 4-card spread. Okay, so you've got, wow. Oh, I love it when it just listens to me, yeah? This is the Wheel of Fortune. It's the card of Sagittarius. So things are changing. Let's see what's in your foundation, the Star. This is your card. So 2 major arcana cards already. I think that Aquarians, and I have mentioned this for Capricorn, so for those of you, you're both ruled, Capricorn and Aquarius are ruled by Saturn. But of course, Aquarius, you also have your modern ruler, which is Uranus. Now, Uranus is in your third house of neighbors, siblings, education, communication. There's a lot happening in that house of yours, which is the third house. Your third house is Taurus, if you are, of course, Aquarius rising. So we've got your card here, and I was saying to Capricorn that some of them are going home, and I feel that some of you guys are going home too. When, if you've been born in a different country, you're living, maybe you've emigrated somewhere and it's time to go back home. So this is an incredible message. Your crowning card is the Queen of Swords. Well, Capricorn had the same card in the outcome position. In the recent past, Nine of Wands, and the outcome is the Eight of Pentacles. I'm going to take another card straight away on that. The Eight of Pentacles is not enough information for me. So we've got the King of Swords. Wow. Oh, I love it. I love the tarot. Let's look at the bottom of the deck. And we've got the King of Wands. Okay, so the King of Wands is someone who is very fiery, can be quite aggressive, can have a strong ego, but he's very spontaneous. He's going for what he is passionate about. Okay, so he is a leader in his own right, and he's driven by his passions and his creativity, his inspiration. Okay, so let's see what's beneath that. And this could be Sagittarian energy. Some of you may have strong Sagittarius in your chart, right? Now, I was just thinking something. I've changed my mind. So what's at the bottom? It's the Hanged Man, and this is Piscean energy. Pisces is the last sign of the zodiac. And Pisces is all about sacrifice and seeing things in a different way. So I think that the years of sacrifice are over, dear Aquarius. It's time to love and nurture yourself, especially when we have the North Node in Cancer, and that is nurturing the inner child. So this should be, this is important for all of us. And Cancer for you is your 8th house of death and transformation. So that's where you're having the transformation, where the North Node is. So it is fated. Now, you could be dealing with issues of the motherhood issues like family. You know, the house of Cancer is, in the natural horoscope, it is your foundation, it is your home. So, interesting. And here we've got the Five of Pentacles, which means that you've had enough of being doing things for others, I would say. And Aquarius wants to actually change their luck. They want to go for what their spiritual calling is telling them, what their higher self is telling them. That's what I feel a lot with you. Now, the King and the Queen of Swords, they're usually a couple, right? But having the King of Swords right on top of the Eight of Pentacles, this could, of course, say that you are working very hard in the near future, but it can also say that you're working very hard on communication. It's like, I'm going to say, it could be hard for you to communicate. The general energy is the King of Wands. Now, for some of you, this is another side of you, of course, but you're not showing that in the reading. You're dealing with someone who is quite, you're showing up as very intellectual, but your partner is also your match. So it takes two to tango, and there is quite a duel here. So this could be a competition of intelligence between both of you. I want to take some more cards, but let me take first of all 3 LENORMAND for Aquarius. Aquarius in May. What's happening? 3 cards for you, Aquarius, with a LENORMAND. If you're interested in the decks I'm using, they're in the description box below. So, first card, the Fish. which speaks of a lot of prosperity, financial prosperity, maybe through work. Some of you could be in the legal field as well. But let's say that air qualities are very intellectual. It's swords, right? So Gemini, Aquarius, or Libra. But let's not forget that the sign, for me, Virgo also comes up as a very intellectual sign, since Virgo is ruled by Mercury, which is logical thinking, because the King of Swords is very logical, and I feel this is your energy here. So we've got the fish here. What else do we have? We've got the cross, which can be a burden, but it can also speak of spirituality. And we do have spirit here. So believing, let's see. And we've got the house. And I did say that a lot of you really feel so much better at home. Your highest calling is to go home, to go to a place that you call home, to go to a house that's at a distance. I think that that's where you will find your emotional, intellectual, emotional, psychological, and emotional foundation. Now, the fish shows a lot of water, so I can see the fish is having a lot of fun here, as you can see. So it looks like it's not so much that you're looking at prosperity and monetary values. You're looking more into your higher self. What is your calling? And this institution, this house, whatever this is what's calling for you. It's a number 4, so I would say it's more than likely a house. Let's take an astrology card for Aquarius. For some of you, we could be talking about 2 different people. We've got 1 queen and 2 kings. So some of you, yes, could be dealing with a third person in your relationship, whether you've opened the door to them or your partner has. So we've got a fire sign, which is overshadowing your reading. And Jupiter sometimes does deal with legalities. Now, the King and Queen of Swords can be people that want to sever the ties, because it's quite a different energy. It's different. Wands are different. Swords are different. Very different. So let's see what's going on in the astrology. Part of fortune and increase. And this, wow, look at the similarities. Look at that. So Pars of Fortune does speak in astrology a lot about prosperity through business, but many times Pars of Fortune is like the Wheel of Fortune. It's like the lucky card within a chart or within synastry. So the compatibility or the synastry of a couple. So part of fortune is saying increase. So that means that your luck is changing. And it's a 45, which equals a 9. Now, the Wheel of Fortune is a 10, which speaks that you're completing a cycle now. And wherever you're moving to is going to behoove you, even in business, I would say. So, looking at Pars of Fortune, just like the Wheel of Fortune, there is change. Okay, now the Wheel of Fortune does show the four fixed energies here, just like the World card. So there has been quite a bit of ego, I would say. Quite a bit of ego and fixed energy that you've been dealing with. So you've been sort of stuck for a while. But the wheel has started turning. And with the increase and the fish, usually I go past, present, future. But it doesn't necessarily mean that that's the case for all of you. So having the fish here, and look at the ship, there is change, there is travel, and the fish are swimming with you. So luck is coming with you. Luck is following you. This seems like a very, very benevolent time for Aquarius. In your foundation is your energy. It's the wish card. So in your foundation is, I'm going to say, heart is where the home is. Your lucky star is in your foundation, in the place that you call home. In the recent past, you've got another 9 here. Now, if I add 34, 36, and 4, they equal 70. So they break down to the 7, which is a divine number. Now, this is having protected everything that you've built, keeping, and that is, she's standing in front of those wands, protecting everything that she's built up to here. If we look at this, if we add this King of Wands to the mix, then this is the 10 of Wands, which can mean that there is a burden, or this female, whoever she is, can be a fire sign, Sagittarius, Aries, or Leo, Sun, Moon, or Rising. It's as though she's she's holding the fort, not letting this king in, whatever that means for you. Okay, so it's a completion again, let's say. What if we put these two people together? Now, who's this female here? It doesn't seem like the same female. Not very similar, because this queen, she's a queen, first of all. This female looks much younger. So I don't know what this actual story means, but what I'm saying is that even if this is your energy and you've been protecting what you've built, there is one wand missing, and the King of Wands is the one that's holding it. So if this is another side of you, then you're completing something. You're getting to your goal. Whatever you've built is completing, and you're going back to zero, starting over again, which means that this is a brand new cycle, and we know that with full moons, some sort of a cycle is ending. Now, Venus, the goddess of love and money and values, is going to meet up with your ruler, dear Aquarius, Uranus, which is in Taurus. Venus is only about 4 hours away from Taurus. That's her rulership. She's very strong. So wherever the house of Taurus is in your chart, that's when a sudden radical change into positivity is coming for you, whatever that means. That could be a project that you're doing. That could be a new love interest that's coming erratically just out of the blue into your life. It's actually happening in your 4th house. Wow. Incredible. Now, Mercury's there as well, and the Sun is there. So we've got a stellium, which is more than 3 planets, in Taurus, which is your 4th house of home, family, foundation, heritage, security, all those things. So I want to say that if these two need to, because these two characters here are usually people that are held back, they're not open emotionally. So there is a bit of a distance here. For this relationship to work out, it is necessary to put a lot of effort, dear Aquarius. Are you willing to do that? That's the question here. Let's take some more cards, will we? Okay, so let's look at the Jupiter card, the Wheel of Fortune, which is Jupiter in Sagittarius, and that's in your 11th house. Your 11th house is the natural house of Aquarius. Now, Jupiter is retrograde, and I believe that some blessings still do come through with Jupiter retrograde. Jupiter is positive, whether it's moving direct or indirect. So let's see what the blessings are here. And we've got the 10 of Wands, and I already spoke about the 10 of Wands. This is a completion. This is the ending of a cycle. The burden is over, but it looks as though you're actually ready to build something new. Look at how it doesn't look like there's a lot of effort. You've already put those wands down. So we've got 2 10s here, and 2 10s equal 20, and they bring up the Judgment energy for me, which speaks of karma. you know, usually in the Ten of Wands, someone has got all these wands on their back. It's a heavy burden, but he's looking to he knows where he's heading to. He's heading to that house or that tower, if that could even be a tower for some of you, and tower could even mean business. So moving to that without even actually looking, he's just following his path. So he knows where he's going. Let me look at the Aquarius card, the Star card, which is a card of healing. It's a card of hope as well, and it's of course something at a distance. We've got the Six of Pentacles, which is the energy of Libra. So this is you trying to find your balance. So you're being very generous, or maybe someone's being generous with you. Some of you are Aquarius is very humanitarian, all about helping the needy, helping humanity. So that could be something that is very important for you. Otherwise, this is legalities. I can see you're paying out money, you're giving money to a good cause here, which will behoove you. Always when we give, we receive. So let's see what this Nine of Wands is all about. Now, the card of Libra here can also speak of legalities, right? The Nine of Wands has the Eight of Cups, which speaks of movement. You're looking for those two cups that are missing in your life. And this does show the eclipsed moon. So, yes, you could be searching for those Two of Cups in the months of June, July, I'm going to say, or even August, because it's number 8. And look at what this person is wearing. It reminds me of pilgrimage. Some of you are seriously thinking of pilgrimage or just, you know, spirituality. You are growing, you're going through those tests, and you are trying to align, as I've already spoken about spirituality. Some of you could even be at the age, let's say, where you're having your first or second Saturn return, and that's got a lot to do with change. Heavy change, but necessary change. So Saturn, of course, is your ruler, so that's very important. Whatever Saturn is doing, and Saturn is actually in Capricorn, which is your 12th house. So you can't see what's happening in there. Saturn, Pluto, and the South Node, which are very, very karmic, are in the sign of Capricorn, which is your 12th house, and you cannot see because it's like from behind your head. You can't turn your head 360 degrees and see what's coming, what's almost coming, because what's in your 12th house is right behind you. Therefore, you don't know what you're letting go. There is some sort of a major completion, fated karmic completion in your life. Let's look at that Queen of Swords, Seven of Swords. So this is a card of intelligence or stealth. If we put the two cards together, it's the Eight of Swords. So could it be that this person, this air sign, or I've mentioned Virgo already, could you be dealing with one of those signs that have been quite sneaky, trying to get away with something? But the thing is that whoever this is that's running away with these swords, they're running straight into justice. Look at that. Because the Queen of Swords can be, yes, it can be, of course, a judge, a magistrate. She looks as though she's making a ruling. She's a solicitor. So around that area, that's the area of your status, career, the authoritarian. Be careful, because we can have authorities here and you don't know what's going on, because Capricorn, which is the authoritarian, the senior, the father, the law, is in your 12th house. So try and be above board whatever you do. Let's take one more card on that. So it is a number 7, and I always see 7s as the divine. So let's take one more, and we've got the moon here. So, wow, Okay, so the moon is intuition, it's dreams, it's also fears again, and the moon is also very feminine energy, so there is a strong intuition here. Now the moon is Cancer or Pisces, so this Queen of Swords could have strong Cancer or Pisces in her chart. Let's look at you. You've got the Ten of Cups, and that's why you've got 3 tens. 3 tens equal the energy of the Empress. Much happiness. Much happiness is the outcome for you, dear Aquarius. You're actually going for what speaks to you emotionally, not intellectually. Now here you've got the 8, and here is the 10. You go from the 8 to the 10. You've found those 2 of Cups. Let's look at this King of Wands. Oh, wow. We've got 3 cards, 4 cards that have come out for the King of Wands, and they are 7 of Cups. So this is Piscean energy, confusion. 6 of Cups. Someone from the past, someone that you have, either you or your partner have had a past with, whether this is in this life or another lifetime. Now this could also mean that there are children in the mix, or that there is a lot of trust here. Wow, 6 and 7 of Cups, that's 13 cups, which is the number of death and transformation. And here comes Uranus, or you could even say Pluto, and changes things up, makes that shift. So what's the shift? It's those 2 cups. So confusion and illusion with the 7, Piscean, as I said. Pisces can be the doormat, or it can be the illusionist. Someone that is throwing, someone is trying to pull the wool over your eyes. Here we've got the 6 of Cups, which is, as I said, it's a soulmate energy. And it's also, so we've got the 2 of Cups and the 6 of Cups. And the shift, the change suddenly from children to adults. Check this out. That's why I'm saying that this is karmic. It is karmic, but it is also very, very fortunate. We've got part of fortune here. Okay, part of fortune. Now, I'd like to say that what I understand with these cards that have fallen out is that if you've been in a traditional relationship with another female, and it can go the other way. If you're the female, then you've been in a relationship with a male. I feel that for 1 or 2 of you out there, and this could be just even one couple, that the King of Wands and the King of Swords are teaming up together. They're becoming a couple. So I feel that there is a same-sex relationship here that is coming to light. And this could even be, you know, you coming to terms with your sexuality, because Scorpio is all about intimacy. Scorpio rules the genitals, right? And Scorpio can be very dark. So having a full moon there can bring the darkest of secrets to light. Maybe you are coming out with the truth, and that's why you are showing up as the King of Swords, which is your element anyway, but you've also got a partner, and this could be turning into an ex, a partner which is a Queen of Swords, and she may not even be air, she could be any other sign, and I've mentioned the signs already, but she's showing up as an air sign, right? And that's probably why we've got the Tower here. the confusion, the Tower, the Six of Cups, where, you know, maybe this was from your childhood, innocence, playing together with someone who was around your neighborhood. And this is one story, as I said. If this is not the case for the rest of you, for the majority of you, then this King of Wands could be someone that is entering your life, or that has already entered your life. And maybe this King of Wands is in a relationship with this Queen of Swords, because the Stealth card is right there with the Queen. And so is the Moon card, which can speak of deception. So there are many stories that can play out here. Many stories. And that's probably why we've got the cross here, which, as I said, for many people, it can be a burden. So it can go either way. The cross can go either way. Let me take some Sibillas right now. I'll take one more card on the Jupiter and the Ten of Wands. I want to see just a bit more. Couple more things. And Three of Swords. There's the deception. There it is. There it is. Three people. Heartache or heartbreak. I think that some of you could actually be having heart problems because of a heavy burden, a lot of work, trying to accomplish too many things at once. You've got the Nine of Wands and the 10. Too much work and not enough play. So that's probably why with the Three of Swords here, this is like, you know, your heart is aching. So this could mean health issues, even if it's not the actual heart, you know. But I'm going to take another card, of course. One more card on that. I would say that those Three Swords are 1, 2, from the King of Swords, the Queen of Swords, and the Ace of Swords. So it's all about the truth and nothing but the truth. So the message I'm getting for you, dear Aquarius, is that some truths for some of you are going to come to light that you don't like to hear. Let me take another card. Oh, wow. Saturn. Oh, wow. Saturn is the flesh. Saturn is very physical. It's too much work. It's like putting in too much effort and not getting anywhere. It's like pressing on the accelerator and there's no gas in the car. It's like you're not getting anywhere. And this is, of course, a lot of unhealthy tendencies which can bring heart problems. And again, dear Aquarius, have you been standing in your integrity? Has your partner been standing in their integrity? Saturn is here to either lighten the load or weigh you down even more. So let's take one more. And we've got the Six of Wands now. Don't let your ego be stronger than yourself. Don't have a huge ego where love is concerned, where business is concerned, where even, you know, family members. I think that you need to be more humble at this time, because with the Six of Wands, this can speak of a lot of success with business. Yes, having worked like a dog, and having been congratulated, but because the shadow side of the Six of Wands is the devil, it's like ego. And the Six of Wands can speak of much success and finally finding your balance. So you've finally conquered, because this is a card of being congratulated. You've won, okay? You've won over this energy, whatever this was, I think that Aquarius is actually beating whatever hardship you've been dealing with, right? Okay, so that could even mean like any drug abuse or anything around too much food, too much sex, too much of anything can be the devil in your life. Okay, and I have a feeling that some of you really need relaxation. But there's another story playing out here, that the King of Wands, if this is someone else in your life, as I said, this is someone that's coming back from the past, and this is a tower for you in your life, and this is an illusion that's, you know, that's becoming real. So it's a nightmare that there is communication on an emotional level with your partner. So I'd like to say that if this is actually your energy, right, if this is actually another side to you, then it looks as though going back home is going to give you it's going to open your heart, and it's going to happen from one day to the other. It's going to be like a revelation, and you're going to be asking yourself, why didn't I do that earlier? Because look at all these cups. 7 and 6 is 13, 15. Add them together, that's the 6 of cups again. Okay? So finding the love that was lost because you were not in a place of heart. Now, for some others of you, it could even be another fire sign. Doesn't matter that it's a male here. You could be attached to another fire sign from back home that you actually played with as a child. Part of fortune is here, and so is the wheel of fortune. So in whichever way, I see it as a lot of luck for most of you Aquarians. This is a very, very lucky break that you're having. Let's take 3 Sibillas. And I think I've already spoken a lot. And that's a lot of cards. 3 Sibillas on the Devil, the 3 of Swords, the 10 of Wands, and the card of Jupiter. So we've got Donna Maritata, the woman with the children. And this is like the Empress. So it's expansion and growth, being loved and nurtured, or being the one doing that to others, to someone else. Fidelity is loyalty and companionship, which means that it's the 9 of Cups, which is another wish card. So you went from the 8 of Cups, you had the 10, here's the 9. So loyalty and companionship, maybe a friendship is turning into something else. And here we've got the Visitor. So someone that you are being advised by, or if this is just an energy, then this is something that took a while. So this is like a trip that's going to work out in a lot of abundance for you and a lot of loyalty and love. Let's take one more. And we've got Speranza, which is hope. Hope and fear, but here I believe it's hope. And hope is also in your own energy. Let me just take one card on this King of Swords. We've got messages, so communication coming from afar. Yeah, change, death, and transformation. Very deep communication on a very purifying level. I would like to actually take a card on this King of Wands as well. So we've got Domestico, which is, and it's funny that it's an 11. So 11 is very karmic, it's justice. Also the Messaggero that's on top of the King of Swords is another 11. So the news that's coming in or being given out is going to be transformational. Here we've got the Domestico, so there's not much trust around this person, someone who's around your home. Here we've got the death and transformation, 13, scorpionic healing, so deep healing on a very deep level. And through karma, healing will come from a very deep level. And what did I choose here? I chose lack of trust. I had the next card to take and I took the one under it. They're all negative, these cards, except for the transformation that's going on. Here we've got a 10 of Pentacles, right? So this is the negative connotation to a situation, or someone walking into your family or having taken something from your family. So there is deception. There is some sort of a deception here. At the bottom, we've got the melancholia, so melancholy. So I'm going to say that there has been, if this is another side of you, right, then, and I'm going to say that for some of you, the King of Swords and the King of Wands could be two friends that are swapping, and there's the deception with the female, that's the third one. So they could have been friends, and the friendship is being broken. Why? Because we've got the falsita, which is deception. It's also a very playful energy. At times, here we've got the domestico, again, trust issues. The healer, the number 13, is very scorpionic, so transformation and things coming up to the surface to be cleared out. Because we've got a 10 and then a 5, difficult energies, psychologically being left out in the cold, this king feels for whatever reason. Now it could be that you're feeling that from this king. Let's take one more card. And here we've got stanza, Ace of Pentacles, intimacy, news coming through. So things that have been hidden are coming through. Things around sexuality, things that have been hidden. Oh wow, so many messages. So many messages. Dear Aquarius, this has turned into quite a reading, has it not? I would like to take just one more part of fortune and I will call it a day. So what else does Aquarius need to know? In the astrology, spirit guides and angels. One more card and we've got Mercury retrograde, reinvention. So dear Aquarius, with Mercury retrograde, the help of that retrograde, you will be reinventing your life, starting from scratch. Mercury retrograde is a time of redoing things, reinvention, and you are the inventor. You are ruled by Aquarius. So inventions are up your alley. For those of you that are inventing something that's going to give you a lot of prosperity, well, congratulations. Now, Mercury, as I said, is the ruler of Virgo and Gemini. So I will leave it at that. It's a 51, and 51 equals a 6. Okay, so, all right, dear Aquarius, thank you again so much for liking, sharing, and subscribing. Sending you lots of love, light and love to all of you. Bye-bye.